welcome back to Holistic Flow. I am your girl, Lolo, and today I'm doing an updated video on my locks. I combined my locks recently, probably like a month and a half ago now, roughly that. I'm here to do an update on that. So just some background. I started my locks in November of 2020. And I started my locks with 2 Strand Twists. I had 74 locks at the time that I started, and recently I was noticing that in my lock journey, my locks, particularly in the front of my head, near where the temples are, were starting to get a little more thin near the base of the lock or near the root of the locks. So what I decided to do with 2 of them on each side, which is really 4, is I decided to combine them. So now I'm here to do an update on that, on the method that I used, how well that worked, it's still working, and what I will continue to do going forward. So if you want to watch the rest of the video, stay tuned, of course. But before I get into it, if you are new here to my channel, hello. Here on Holistic Flow, we are creating a safe space. A space for self-love, self-growth, and maturity, and we're taking a journey towards an overall better mind, body, and spirit connection. So if you're with that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, turn on your notifications so you know whenever I upload a new video. If you have done that, thank you so much. And let's get into the video. So the way that I combined my locks was I used 2 or 3 different methods. Took 2 locks and I crocheted the roots of them together, meaning I took a crochet hook that you use for like faux locks when you're doing the crochet method, putting your own hair inside of the crochet hair, if that makes sense. And I took the crochet hook and hooked the roots of 2 locks together, went ahead and 2 strand twisted those 2 locks together, and after that I crocheted 1 lock through the middle of the other lock, and I did that on both sides. Now I've noticed a couple of things about the method that I used. Number 1, when you combine locks, I realized you want to make sure the locks are as close to each other as possible, just so that they can begin to fuse together really nicely. When I first twisted, 2 strand twisted the locks together, they weren't exactly tight against each other, and I tried to do it with very low tension, but I realized that I should have twisted my 2 locks more closely together, because a couple of days after I combined them, both of them on both sides, they kind of like fell out. So I had to put rubber bands on both sides. Currently, I just have the rubber band on one of the combined locks, which is this one, which I'll show in a minute. Yeah, they both fell out, so I had to re-twist it back. So I had to 2 strand twist both sides again, and I tried crocheting one end of one lock into the middle of the other lock. That didn't really work, so that's why I kind of put the rubber bands at the ends just to secure them. Now I know that doing the rubber banding method when you're crocheting your locks, it's not the healthiest option, just because the rubber band can get melted within the lock. I've seen that happen to certain people. And then the rubber band can also create a little bit more friction if you keep the rubber band in too long, other things like that. The main thing that I think I did right was crochet the locks together at the root, just to combine them near the root of the hair. It was not a good idea to crochet 1 lock into the other lock. Again, I said this in the video, and then I'll say it in this video. That was not a tutorial. It was simply trial and error. I was doing something for the first time, and I was just showing how I did it. But, I mean, if that works for you, the main things that I did right, again, was crochet the roots and then 2 strand twists. Now, I think the 2 strand twist method is a really great method to combine locks. 2 strand twists is the way that I started my own locks, and it's a very popular method of starting locks. I think that when you 2 strand twist your locks together, they lock together easily, very easily. And when you combine that with combining them at the root first, like crocheting the roots together first, it makes it a whole lot more easy to lock. When you think of when some people like who have either semi-freeform locks or completely freeform locks, and they have what some people would call congos or two-headed dragons or whatever you call them, but it's basically when you have had 2 or 3 locks that were once separate locks, and then all of a sudden the roots start combining. So then you have one lock near the root, but then the ends of both locks are still separated. So since that is how our locks naturally want to grow, I think that combining the locks at the roots first is a smart thing to do. Now I will show you what the locks look like close up. This is on the left side of my head. So this is where I combine the lock, and you can see I already have like basically budding at this point. And like I said, I have retwisted this lock probably like 2 times after I initially combined it in that video, and I had to Strand Twist it tighter so that the lock would stay. This one doesn't have a rubber band on it. I used to have one on there, but I took it off, and it's honestly locking pretty nicely if you ask me. And then on the other hand, this one, we have some budding as well. This one's a little more thin, but I do still have the rubber band on this one just because this is the end of the smaller lock. And as you can see, that's why I tried to crochet this end of the smaller lock into the middle of the bigger one so that the ends could naturally stay together. But without the rubber band currently, there's no way for the ends to naturally stay together because there's nothing holding them together. So after maybe another month, I will try taking off the rubber band just to see if it locks on its own. But other than that, the locks are locking very nicely. There's nothing really else to give an update on. This right here is my swag, but this right here is like an old twist out. Well, actually it's not old. I just did the twist out like 2 days ago, and I took it out, and these are the results. So I find that doing twist outs are fine. Most of the time when I wash my hair, I just wash it, shampoo it as normal, and let it air dry, let my hair dry straight. But I like to have some body and some waves in my hair, so that's why I do the two strand twist method. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the update. It's not much to update on. I'll probably do one in the future. Overall, should you combine your locks or should you not combine your locks? It all depends, but I would recommend it, especially if you want thicker locks. I think the 2-strand twist method of combining your locks is a really great method, just because most people, well, not most people, people start their locks all different types of ways, but I've seen a lot of people start their locks with 2-strand twists. Everybody that I've known who started their locks with 2-strand twists, they didn't regret it. So since that's the natural way that our hair locks through twists, I just think the twist method is a great method paired with instant locking or crocheting your locks at the base of the lock or at the root of the lock. So that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and then also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And I hope to see you in my next one. But until then, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, and joy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all. Peace.